In the late 1970s, psychologist Bruce K. Alexander and his team at Simon Fraser University in British Columbia sought to challenge the prevailing theories about addiction. At the time, the standard experiment involved placing a single rat in a small, barren cage with 2 drink dispensers. One contained plain water, and the other had water laced with morphine. Time and again, the isolated rats chose the morphine water, often drinking it to the point of overdose. Alexander hypothesized that these results were influenced by the conditions of the experiment itself. The rats weren't just drinking morphine. They were drinking to escape their miserable, solitary existence. To test this, he designed Rat Park, an experimental setup 200 times larger than a typical lab cage. It was a rat paradise. Plenty of space, toys, exercise wheels, and room for 16 to 20 rats to socialize and mate. Once the rats were acclimated, they were given the same choice: plain water or morphine-laced water. Here, Alexander said,
the environmental effects were crystal clear. No matter how much the researchers tempted the Rat Park rats, they resisted the morphine sugar solution while the caged rats drank plenty. They concluded that if rats in a reasonably normal environment resist opiate drugs, then the natural affinity idea is wrong.
Why does isolation have such a powerful effect? The answer lies in the brain itself. Loneliness and deprivation warp the brain's reward system. In isolation, stress levels spike, and the brain becomes hyper-focused on finding relief. Activities like watching porn or doom-scrolling exploit this vulnerability, flooding the brain with dopamine and providing temporary escape. But it's not just about these distractions. Isolation changes the way the brain processes emotions, disrupts sleep, and diminishes the ability to cope with stress. Over time, these effects compound, leading to anxiety, depression, and even cognitive decline. In the book of Genesis, God says, "It is not good that the man should be alone. I will make him a helper fit for him." This divine declaration highlights something deeply ingrained in human nature: the need for companionship and connection. Modern science has echoed this truth. Studies following the groundbreaking Rat Park experiment have reinforced the power of the environment in shaping behavior. Mice placed in enriched settings filled with toys, space, and companions are far less likely to develop addiction-related behaviors. Even animals forced into addiction can recover when moved to these more stimulating environments. The COVID-19 pandemic offered a stark reminder of this. As social distancing measures were enforced, rates of anxiety, depression, and substance abuse soared. People turned to alcohol, drugs, and overeating, not because they lacked willpower, but because they lacked connection. This isn't a flaw in human nature. It's a survival mechanism. When deprived of community, the brain seeks other ways to cope. The solution, then, isn't punishment or shame. It's creating environments that foster connection and support. Building a rat park doesn't mean creating a physical space for humans. It means cultivating relationships, joining communities, and prioritizing meaningful interactions. It's about breaking free from the physical, emotional, or societal that trap us in cycles of loneliness and despair. Isolation kills your brain, but connection saves it. The good news is that connection is within reach.